Here's a question that I've been asked a couple of times recently. What does an egg have to do with Easter? There's no mention of anything like an egg in the story of Jesus' resurrection. Yet, we color them, we hide them, we make them out of chocolate, and the Easter Bunny always seems to have a bunch of them. What's up with that? The easiest answer is probably that it goes back to before Easter and even before the Passover. Most every culture has a celebration of spring, and eggs are laid in the spring. So very early on, they came to represent new life. And new life and resurrection go well together. Here's another connection. Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection happened during the Passover. You might be interested to know that eggs are a part of the Passover meal. I've heard a couple different explanations as to why that might be true. One is that their rounded shape symbolizes the cycle of life. Another is that they're a reminder of the suffering of God's people in Egypt. If you're eating eggs, it means you're not eating steak or lobster. Another is that an egg appears to be completed, but it's also a beginning, the beginning of a chicken. You could see the Passover as the end of their time in Egypt, or you can see it as the beginning of new life in the Promised Land. I once heard a rabbi say that eggs are like God's faithful people. You put them in hot water, and it makes them harder, more resolved. All these have a good connection with Easter. I just learned that there's a legend that after the resurrection, one of Jesus' followers, Mary Magdalene, the one who was the first to find that the tomb was empty on Easter morning, was invited to a banquet by Emperor Tiberius. In the middle of the meal, she stood up and said, "Christ is risen!" Emperor Tiberius is said to have held up an egg and said, "That's silly. A person can't any more rise from the dead than this egg can turn colors." And as he held the egg, it turned bright red. Supposedly that's where the tradition of coloring Easter eggs began, but it's probably more of a myth than a reality. So the next time you see an egg, you might say to yourself, "Christ is risen." And if you say it out loud, don't be surprised if someone else says, "Christ is risen indeed." This is our Thursday, April 20th edition of a video series we call Stronger Faith. Stay safe and be well. God bless you.